Welcome to the VDMA Circular Economy Forum here at K 2019. Now I have the pleasure to introduce Michael Perl from Sesotec, and he will talk about driving impact for plastic sorting and material analysis. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to have you here, and the floor is all yours.
Yes, thank you for having the opportunity. So good afternoon from my side. Monday, new week here at the K Show 2019, and in the next minutes I will talk a bit about the driving impact for the plastics waste sorting and what options we do have for material analysis. So, as all of you know, plastics is part of our world, and I don't think there is a possibility to remove plastics from our world. So the important thing is, I think, how to deal with it. We have plastics all around us. I think it's important to have it because otherwise we might have many other problems we have to deal with. Just think about that, how much of a car is made out of plastics. If we would like to step back everything into metal or whatever, that would create a lot of other issues and situations. So we believe that plastics will be part of the world also in the future. The situation is, as mentioned, how we should deal with it. We need to avoid that it's going to the environment. And for this, we need to collect the waste, and finally, we need to recycle it. And for this, to create a kind of a plastic cycle, we believe all people need to be aware of what's necessary for that. It's starting at the manufacturing side, then we will use plastics, we should recycle that, and finally create new products out of it. And for this, I think there are a few things the recyclers, the plastics manufacturers, and the plastics producers, converters have to take care about. One thing is we need suitable material. That means material which is designed in a way that it can be really sorted, really be recycled. The other thing is that we need processes, technology, which finally allows us to do that. That starts from the collection, goes further to the sorting process, and finally following processes to really be able creating new products out of this. That brings me to the situation, what is really necessary for getting plastics fit for recycling. On the one hand, there are so many plastics we see on the market, and some of them are really mixed together. So it's really necessary, I think, that we having a clear structure what plastics are really recyclable, how we combine them, how we use them for the products. And here we are talking about polymers on the one hand, but also in the meantime we see a lot of additives which are added to that polymer types to really make them usable for the individual products that they have. And that is, I think, something which will bring us what's going on in the next months and years in the plastic segments. For this, I believe we might see in the soon future additives which more or less make black or plastics black colored, but making them detectable for sorting systems, which is at the moment not really the case. So we might see in the future maybe kinds of plastics caps and closures which are black colored, but we might see some additives inside which allows them to detect them by sorting technology with near-infrared technology, for example. So that could be really one solution which might help us in the future to make those parts of plastics recyclable. In the meantime, we also see that different kind of colors, for example, can be really sorted in a proper way. Plenty years ago, nobody could imagine to sort really small particles like that in a in an economical way to really be able creating new products out of this. So for example, this is a mixed fraction of caps and closures which are shredded to a particle size down to 3 to 15 millimeters. And nowadays we are able, after washing them, to sort the polypropylene away from the polyethylene material, and then also create kind of color groups or individual colors. And with that kind of material, you can on the one hand reuse them for other types of products, or in the meantime, I think some days or a few days ago, REMA already launched the information that there is also an approval for food safety for those kind of recycled plastics in the future. So that, I think, is really a milestone that we can use those products in the future in the same way as the virgin plastics has been. In addition to that, and I think that will be after my presentation, in the next presentation from Gian De Belder from Procter & Gamble, where he might talk about markers. What kind of marker or what kind of, let's say, digital water prints can be put it on plastic products and make them, or allowing them to recycle them, sort them in an easy way. Those two parts, in addition to the general design of plastic products, might really make a plastics circular economy possible. The product design, I mean, that is something in the past years always, let's say, the marketing departments from the brands, as well as for sure the need to protect the food inside, to protect the drinks inside. There were created a lot of different mixtures and multi-layers of products. And that really brought us into the situation that it was difficult to really sort them and recycle those materials. And for this, I think those three factors here are the key we need to pay attention on in the future, all together. We also believe the circular economy is, on the one hand, a really, really good idea. Nevertheless, we also believe that we have to think about a kind of a spiral economy. That means not only bottle to bottle or creating new bottles out of old bottles is something which should be on our focus. It should be also on our focus to use plastics for a certain purpose, and then if it's not possible to really recycle them in a way to get the same product out, we should think about to get any different kind of product which maybe can be then used even for a longer time. And that, I think, is something altogether what is the important thing. So we believe the important thing is that we really talk about and think about recycling. On the one hand, sometimes it will be really a downcycling or down recycling. On the other hand, it could be also an upcycling. But altogether, I think the importance is to pay attention, not to get the plastics into the environment, into the sea. And that is, I think, we have to take care about all in the future together. We as Sesotec are able to support that industry, to support here with our systems for material sorting, for material analysis, and for foreign body separation. Here you can see kind of typical products we do have, we are using in that industry. On the left-hand side, there is a so-called bottle sorting machine, which is used to sort plastic bottles by color, to separate unwanted polymers out of them, or even to separate metals which are in the content. And the same you also do have then for smaller kind of materials, like for plastic flakes, like for plastics regrind. And for sure, that's only the plastic part we are talking here about. There are also other kind of industries where we see plastics in the market. Just think about the electronic products, fridges and so on, which also contain plastics. For sure, those kind of plastics will be used for a longer time because you use your fridges 10 years, 15 years. But then also, they should be designed in a way that the plastics can be also recycled. I also would like to give you an idea what could be helpful in the future for this, because you as, on the one hand, plastics recyclers, on the other hand, plastics producers or plastics converters, you need to deal with that different kind of material streams you have. And for this, we have developed a machine, we call it Flake Scan, which allows, on the one hand, to analyze the material in the output stream after the recycling, and also in the input stream of the plastics manufacturers as well as the plastics converters. So that was my presentation about what we believe how the plastic circular economy might work out in the future. And for this, if you do have any questions, a few of my colleagues are here in the audience, and we are in Hall 10 at booth number E60. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michael.
You're welcome.
I think you gave us some very interesting insights in the process of sorting and the relevance of it. I said thank you to you. Thank you for watching, and see you at K.